Hi, and welcome to Moonbeam Connections. I'm Jacqui-Leigh. Today on relationship frequencies, we're going to look at your relationship with your grandmother. So this message, I do set the intention, there we go, I do set the intention that these messages reach those who need them when they need them. So if this message did reach you, it does mean it is meant for you, but it might not be the entire message. It might just be a portion of the message that is meant for you. So take what resonates and just leave the rest behind. So we're going to ask about your relationship with your grandmother. So what is the energy between the two of you? So what is this relationship like? What's the energy in it? Let's see. Oh, and there we go. Ooh. Okay. So this is the Five of Pentacles, which is about like hardship, loss, feeling isolated, feeling abandoned, kind of feeling left out in the cold, right? And as you can see, this is all, it looks kind of like a wintry scene there, sort of foggy. You're in the forest, and it's sort of like you're being left out in the cold, right? You feel like you're not being welcomed. You have these hardships. You're feeling lonely, but the Five of Pentacles is also about, if you know in the Rider-Waite deck, they're walking sort of beside a church and sort of woe is me as I walk by. I'm having all these hardships. I'm homeless. I'm outside in the cold. But they could go inside the church. They're not taking that opportunity. And as you can see, yes, we've got this forest scene here, and it's all fogged in, and it looks so desolate, and you feel all alone and isolated, and it looks hard. But there is this path. You can see there's this path right in the middle of the card that you could take. And so, you have this pathway to get out of the Five of Pentacles. So although things, may feel hard now, or you may have just experienced a loss, and you're sort of burdened mentally by that, emotionally by that, there is a path towards, we'll call it redemption, or towards being saved, towards it not being so hard. So if it's something like you just lost somebody, there is a path through therapy or just talking to friends and family in order to help recover from that, right? If you've had a financial loss, there is a path, whether, you get a job that pays more, or, whatever it is. So it's kind of like you feel like there's no hope. You feel left out in the cold. You feel like you're all isolated. You feel like nobody cares about you. You're struggling, but there still is that hope. There still are choices. There's still a better path ahead. And so within your relationship, obviously we have this feeling about being left out in the cold. And of course, I don't know if that's you or that's your grandmother. So maybe your grandmother feels you don't spend enough time with her, but she could also be being unreasonable, that she wants you there to come for an hour every day. And you're like, this just isn't reasonable, Grandma. I can come for an hour once a week. And so she's feeling like she's isolated and she's left out in the cold. Or it may be a situation where we have maybe favoritism going on. And so she's favoring one grandchild over another, and you feel left out in the cold. So let's see, this is the energy between you. Let's see. Oh, well, that card does want to come out, but we'll see. And let's see how you feel about her currently. How do you currently feel about this relationship? That's what we're going to go with. How do you currently feel about this relationship with your grandmother? Oh, it's interesting. That one almost came out. I wonder if that's the same one. Oh man, we're having just one. Oh, there we go. Just one card. Okay. Oh, Nine of Cups. Wow. Nine of Cups is like I'm satisfied. I'm content. My wishes came true. I've got everything here, right? Like I'm happy. So it does seem like you're quite happy with this relationship, which is interesting when the energy between you is this, because it feels like, and cups are emotions, right? They're emotions, feelings, relationships. And so like for you, feel completely fulfilled by this relationship. From your point of view, this is a good relationship. You enjoy this relationship. You're content with this relationship. This is your wishes coming true with having this relationship with your grandmother. So let's see how your grandmother feels about you. How does your grandmother currently feel about you? It's very interesting to get, oh, there we go, the Nine of Cups. with the Five of Pentacles. And the Eight of Cups. So Eight of Cups is sort of about withdrawing, walking away, right? It's walking away from things. But it's not necessarily walking away from bad, right? Like it's Eight of Cups. You have these 8 cups. That's quite a bit of cups. But you're just going to walk away. You're letting it go. You're surrendering it. You're leaving it all behind. And so it's interesting. It's like there's something here, like, because your grandma still has these 8 of Cups. Like, she still has feelings for you. She still loves you. She's still, there's nothing necessarily wrong with the relationship with the 8 of Cups. Like, it is about walking away from stuff, but it's not necessarily walking away from bad, right? It could be you're walking away from a job that you actually like, but there's no room for promotion. So you love the job, but you're like, no, if I want to advance, I need to walk away. And so it's like your grandma loves you, but she feels she needs to walk away from you. And you're sitting here in this is a great relationship. This is wonderful. So then it's like, we need to get a clarifier for this. It's like, why is the Five of Pentacles here? Like, why does your grandma feel like she needs to walk away? That's what popped into my head, so I'll say it. Is maybe somebody coming out of the closet. This might mean something for a portion of you out there, that you just came out of the closet as being gay or lesbian or two-spirited, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And so you guys have this love, but because now you've come out and you said, okay, I'm gay, I like same-sex relationships, this is who I am, this is what I want to be. They love you, but because of their belief system, or because they're worried about what other people think, or because they just don't know, they've never experienced that, they've never been around people who they know to be gay, and so they just feel like they have to walk away. Like, they feel like all of a sudden they are left out in the cold. There's this like, oh, you're not who I thought you were. You're someone different, when really you're the exact same person. They just now have a little bit more information about you. They made assumptions. They made the assumption that you were going to like opposite sex people, right? That was, or opposite gendered people, or how, it doesn't matter, right? They made that assumption. And now you're just revealing to them, hey, that assumption was wrong, but nothing else has changed. It's like assuming someone has brown eyes and then you find out they have blue. Are you really going to be like, oh my God, you have blue eyes? I thought they were brown the entire time. It's kind of a ridiculous notion. But so let's get a clarifier for this Five of Pentacles. And there we go. So what is our clarifier? Queen of Swords. Okay. So the Queen of Swords is like cutting through to the truth, right? This is getting clarity. I always look at this thing of the swords as I'm cutting through to find the truth, right? I'm cutting it open. I'm going to find the truth. So it really is all about like clarity and honesty. Here it says cutthroat, right? So it's not like I'm going to, sort of sugarcoat the truth. I'm not sugarcoating the truth. I'm going to get right to it. And I'm telling you, right? She's also very independent. So she does her own thing. She's not concerned. You don't like what I'm doing? That's fine. This is what I'm doing, right? And I'm not afraid to stand up and tell you that I'm independent, and I'll give you the exact clarity that you need of exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to be completely honest, and this is who I am. And she's also objective and truthful. And so there really is this, there's so this is the in-between energy, the energy between you. So there's this isolation and feeling left out, but it's like because there's been some harsh truth told. So that does go along the coming out of the closet theme, right? She, and I would assume it was she who found out, because she's the one who's walking away. She found out that some truth that she didn't know before, And now it's just created this where she feels like isolated or abandoned. And it may not be that at all. It just might be, you know, like people feel like, what? Like you're doing something that I didn't want you to do? Like, how could you be so horrible to me? And it's like, well, I'm not being horrible to you. I'm just living my life. I'm sorry it's not what you would do. You don't have to do it, right? And so I would say there's been some kind of truth or honesty, some kind of something revealed, which has created this feeling of being split apart, being isolated, you know. But remember, you know, as with the Five of Pentacles, there is a path to coming back together. And also, like, the Queen is not irrational. She's completely this is very logical. This is logic. This is me not using my feelings. I'm just putting in my logic, right? So coming out of the closet, I'm not going to worry about my feelings of being scared or being worried about your reaction. I'm just telling you the truth. And that's what I did, and this is how it is. Now let's see. Let's get a card of advice. Wow. I don't know if you saw that when it flipped, but look at this. Card of advice. Okay, joy, success, vitality, being optimistic. You know, the sun is like one of the best, if not the best card in the tarot deck, right? It's just like the sun is shining down. Everything's illuminated. You can see everything. Everything's wonderful. And so your advice, I think, is not to worry about, you know, exactly what's happening now. Look at the good things. Look at, you know, back to the coming out of the closet. I'm sorry if this doesn't relate to you. Hopefully you can understand how it does relate to your situation. But like, you came out of the closet and now you're just going to shine, right? You are who you are. You're going to be who you are. And there's, you know, like, it's like opening up these doors for you, right? Like, yeah, your grandma's not happy about it, but now all of a sudden you can be who you are. Maybe you can, you know, dress a little more masculine, or dress a little more feminine, or, you know, act a little more masculine, act a little more feminine, cut your hair differently. Now that grandma knows, I can make my hair really short, or, you know, whatever it is. And so I think this really is just focus on the happiness, the joy, you know, the brightness, the love that's in your life, because I think this is going to come along, right? I do think this is going to come along. And you are who you are, and you can't really go back on anything now, right? Well, it couldn't in the first place. It is what it is. And so this is really just focus on those areas of your life that bring happiness and joy, and focus on those aspects of your relationship with your grandma too that brought you happiness and joy, right? Those happy memories of you spending time together. Maybe even try, you know, if you had something special you did, you always make cookies when you were a child, you know, maybe just call her up and be like, Grandma, I want to make cookies. You know, it may just be a matter of, you know, from her perspective, things have, whatever this truth was that she learned has dramatically changed things. But if you go, no, Grandma, I want to make cookies with you. I'm going to come over and make cookies with you. And then you guys start making cookies together, and she might all of a sudden realize, oh, really nothing has changed, right? Like, and this could also be she just felt deceived. She didn't know some information and felt like people were lying to her. Like, maybe you came out of the closet. Maybe she's fine with you coming out of the closet. Maybe that's not a big deal. Maybe this part is that she's upset because anyone thought she'd have a problem with it, or she's upset because it's been kept from her for the last, like, all the other family knew for the last 10 years. All the other family knew your roommate was actually your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or you're married to them now, and they didn't even come to the wedding because you thought they wouldn't accept it. And they're going, how could you be so hurtful to me and not tell me this prior, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be that they're against what this decision is. It might just be that I've only just learned the truth. How come I didn't learn the truth before? I feel very isolated. I feel like I was left out in the cold because you've waited so long to tell me this vital truth. And I feel like a fool, right? I feel like a fool. I feel like, you know, everybody's just lying to me now. So let's get another, another card of advice. Oh, look at this. It's such a cute card. I love this one. Okay, so this is the Six of Cups. So this is all about like nostalgia, you know, innocence, right? Returning that childhood, reunion. So a lot of times this can be reunion with somebody from your past, right? This a lot of times is exes or people who you almost got into relationships with from your past now coming forward. And it's also about like those memories and like past and sentimental things, right? So when I say here, like, let's focus on the good, let's focus on the good memories you had with grandma from your childhood. Like that's what this is telling me. Like, let's focus on the good memories that you and your grandma had together, right? You can think of this as, I mean, it's two little kids, but a grandma with her son, with her arm wrapped around her grandchild, and you know, and realize, like, and try and bring some of those memories back. And obviously, I mean, you're not a child anymore. You're not going to go sit on their knee or something like that and have them read a book to you. But again, things like making cookies together, you know, or you could even start like a new tradition. But it's really focusing on the good things, focusing on the past good things with your relationship with your grandmother. Oh, and Queen of Wands. Okay. So Queen of Wands, I mean, we got the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. This is good. So this is like having charisma, determination. It can be having warmth. You're passionate about things. You know, of course you're a queen, so you're attractive and confident. You're self-assured. You know what you're doing. You know what you want. And so really this is, and remember, like, wands are like that, you know, that magic that you add, that passion, that drive, that go, that, you know, this is where I'm going, this is what I want to do. And so really what your advice is regardless of what's currently happening at the moment, just stay in your joy, stay in your sunshine, stay in your happiness, think of the good times, focus on, you know, your past with her, and have those good memories, and then start moving forward with your passions, with what you want, with what you're determined to do. So if this is, I came out of the closet and my grandma said she's not talking to me again until I tell her that, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong, I'm actually heterosexual. Okay, that's not going to happen, right? And so your advice is just remember the good times with her, focus on the good things in your life, and move forward, determined that you're going to live your life how you want, right? But it can also be, remember, you've got that spark, you've got that, you know, that thing's in there, that magic that you can wave your wand. And so if we focus on the good things, start focusing on things in the past that you did with your grandma, those good memories, and then use your ability to make things happen, to create things for your, I want to say passion for your grandma, but like your love for your grandma, you're wanting to have that relationship, to start building that back up, or coming back together, or whatever it is. And it's not necessarily this is a huge break. This just might be grandma needs a little bit of time. She needs some time to adjust. So we're going to go here. Oh, this reading's getting long. Okay, we'll do this quickly. We'll just get like 2 or 3 cards as, what do I want to say? We'll get 2 or 3 cards that sort of outline, I guess, how we move forward. That's what we'll try and do. So how are you going to move forward? Doesn't necessarily have to be in this relationship. Distracted. Okay, there we go. Distractions. That can be getting sidetracked, having big changes, right? Having an unexpected change. Maybe when this news came out, you didn't expect grandma to, you know, react the way she did. You expected her to get on board and come along. And now you're having this delay, or you're having to change your plans a bit, you know. This could even be something like you told grandma, hey, grandma, I want you to move in with me. Or, hey, grandma, you need to, you know, we think you'd be better off moving to a home, right? And she's mad, right? And so now things are delayed because you're having to deal with that she's sitting on the sidelines being like, no, I don't want any of you all around me. Get out of here. So things have been delayed, may have been sidetracked, may have been, your plans may have changed a bit, but it's not that it's it's not that you've totally veered off the road. You've not found a new path. That's not what this is. This is I'm walking the path and I found some flowers and I'm stopping off and I'm looking at them and, oh, look at that cool rock. You know, so that's what that kind of thing is. So things are still moving in the direction or how you wanted them. Ooh, look at that. But there may have been a few changes or a few delays in that trajectory. Trapped and boundaries. It's interesting because it's like, oh, I'm trapped, I'm stuck. And then it's like, oh, I'm making boundaries around me so that nobody can get in. So don't feel trapped or stuck because of whatever's happening over here. So whatever you're going to do, where it may have been delayed a little bit, may have got a little sidetracked, you know, maybe we're putting grandma in a home and she's upset, so we're going to delay it a little bit, but we're not going to feel trapped like we have no other choices. We're not going to feel like we're stuck or we can't do this now, or, you know, we're not going to feel like we can't go ahead with whatever plans we were planning anyways, right? So you're not going to get trapped by that, but we do have to set up boundaries. So we're not going to get trapped in this, but we do have to set up boundaries. So grandma doesn't want to move to a new place, right? She's saying, nope, I'm not going to go. We're not going to feel like, oh, no, we can't go. We're totally trapped. We can't ever go now. That's not what we're going to feel like. We're going to feel like, okay, we're having this sidetrack. We're having this delay. We're having to change our plans slightly. We'd planned to move in June, but we're going to change our plans slightly. Things are going to get delayed, but we're not going to get stuck here. We're not staying here forever now. We're going to set up a boundary that we have to move by July. You have to move by July 1st. Or, you know, and it can be whatever. It can be a boundary of, you know, coming out of the closet thing again. Okay, grandma, I get you don't accept it. And you're not going to accept it anytime soon anyways. And so I'm drawing this boundary that's fine. You don't have to accept it, but you're never going to say anything negative about my partner, or you're never going to say anything negative about the LGBTQS plus community. Sorry if I said that wrong. I do try and get them all in there. I'm not trying to leave anybody out. So the boundary is that you don't ever talk around me negatively about that group. I get it. You're who you are, but you are my grandma. I love you, and I know you still love me, even though you don't approve of this. So I don't know if this helped you at all or not. I'm hoping it did. It's funny because there's really not a lot of negative energy in this. Like even with the 8 of Cups, even though it's that walking away, you still have those full 8 cups, right? And so there is this energy of being left out in the cold. So there is obviously this split currently, but it's like because of this harsh truth, that it's not necessarily that you're trying to be harsh or she was trying to be harsh, right? It's just that there's this truth in the matter. So whatever it is, this truth has sort of created this feeling isolated, feeling abandoned, feeling alone. But you know, I mean, your advice is just sit in the sun, sit in the joy, right? Look around, see what you love, remember the good memories. You have this ability to pursue, you know, the relationship to make it better. Like you've got it, you know what you're doing. And so things might have been just sidetracked a little bit, just thrown off kilter, but don't feel trapped by that. Make appropriate boundaries where they belong and just move forward. And I think grandma's going to come back. I don't think grandma's going anywhere. It's not like the cups are spilt. It's not like the cups are gone, right? They're sitting there. Grandma just needed to take a little break and walk away for a minute. Okay, so I hope this message helped you today. I'm sending you peace, love, and happiness. Bye for now.